A story about you by me, Bryn. You work as a debt collector in an office. You live in a home with your wife and two kids. You wake up at 6 a.m. every morning. You go to work. You go home. You take care of your wife and children, and then you go to sleep. You do this every Monday to Friday. You are a college dropout. You dropped out of liberal arts. The sinking feeling grows deeper. The monotony goes on. You work to live. You live to work. This is your life. This is you. Today you wake up. It is the same thing. You wake up at 6 a.m., you shower, you go to shave and notice a sore beneath your jaw and carefully shave around it. You do not look at the sore for very long. Your son asks you if you could help him with his homework before you go to work. Of course you can. There are maggots beneath two of your fingernails now. You rinse them down the sink before your wife can see. You kiss your wife goodbye while she stands leaned against the doorway sipping on a chipped coffee cup with soft baby pink lipstick stains. You drive 45 minutes to your office job. Pale fluorescent lights flicker. There's an odd stain on the carpet and the air feels stale. Maybe it's just you. A fly buzzes around you and lands on your face. You swat it, accidentally hitting yourself in the nose. The pain is sharp. You call people who are already drowning and ask them for money that they do not have. They cry. They tell you about their mother having cancer and how you don't know what it's like. Your mother had cancer last year. You were there by her side on the hospital bed, holding her hand as she passed away. They scream. Sometimes they bang. You apologize in the same rehearsed voice every time. Your voice does not belong to you. Not in this world. I'll do what I can. You don't deserve to go through that, and I hope good things happen for you. I'm sorry. I understand your frustration. You cannot do anything. Over time, you have become apathetic to these people. They no longer feel real to you, and you start to notice it with those in your personal life. There really is nothing you can do for them. The fly lands on you again, and you swat away at it. At 5 p.m., you drive your son home and help him set up a game. You hold your daughter while she falls asleep on the couch watching cartoons. You make love to your wife once every week on your scheduled night together in complete darkness. She whispers, I love you, into your shoulder softly. You try to think pleasant thoughts. You too, honey. You go to bed. Sometimes while you sit in traffic, watching the traffic light that never turns green, you imagine another life. A life you love. God, anything but this. You have it good, don't you? You have a loving wife, two wonderful children, a home, a steady job that pays the bills. You have it good, right? You think about a version of you that could have been something else. A writer, a painter, a man who lives in a city apartment with bad plumbing and mold who does Molly, invites strange women and men over on a daily basis. Man who did not feel sick like this every Sunday night. Instead, you became you. Who are you? A husband, a father, provider, Catholic man. Every Sunday, you sit in church beside your family and watch the sun peek through the stained glass windows in beautiful shades of soft reds and blues. It's almost pretty. You hold your wife's hand in yours. For a moment, you feel disgust and want to slap her hand away and don't understand why. You push that feeling down. You confess things that are easy to confess, things like impatience or maybe anger, things like cutting someone off in traffic and making them miss the turn lane. You never confess the real thing, Leo. Leo with his strong arms and rolled up sleeves with hair that peeks through. Leo who once touched your shoulder in the break room and it left you unable to breathe for the rest of the afternoon. Leo who drinks his coffee with oat milk and 2 shots of espresso. Leo who wears really nice button ups and khakis. Leo who has a perfect smile. You do not confess how sometimes instead of going straight home, you stare off into nothing and imagine another life entirely. 2 flies land on you again. You imagine a life where no one calls you dad, no one needs anything from you. You imagine a life where you are allowed to be you instead of these feelings that you push down. It's morning time again. Again. There are more flies in your bedroom. It buzzes near the ceiling fan while your alarm clock blares and your wife yells at you to turn it off. You ignore it. When you go to the bathroom, it lands against the mirror while you brush your teeth. You notice flies crawling across your monitor on your lunch break. Leah looks at it and laughs. Persistent little bastard. Think we should kill him for the crime of being small? He chuckles. You force yourself to laugh too. In the evening later, when you're home doing the dishes, you find maggots in the sink, and then in another, and then 3 gathered at the living room window. Your wife is disgusted and says she has no idea where they're all coming from. You tell her you'll buy some traps tomorrow. That night, you wake up to buzzing, but it's not outside or in the room. You feel it in your head and sit upright, drenched in sweat. There are pit stains on your shirt. Something moves beneath the skin near your ribs. Just a second, a little twitch, kind of like writhing almost. By the time the sun comes and morning arrives, it's gone. You go to work anyways. Keep doing the same thing you do, even after the smell starts. Beneath your deodorant and your aftershave, there's something sour, damp. You scrub yourself till your skin is raw in the shower. It burns pink beneath the cold water. The flies seem to follow you still. You notice it at church one day and you stare at it. It stares back at you, its tiny black legs rubbing together in a prayer. No one else seems to notice the fly. The pastor keeps going on with the sermon, and the rest of the churchgoers listen intently to the pastor. While you're helping your daughter with her homework, her little nose scrunches up at you. Daddy smells funny. Your wife scolds her not to say things like that. You pretend you don't hear. At night, your stomach writhes. That thing beneath your skin seems to move more often now. When you brush your teeth, your gums bleed into the sink. You watch the red mix into the water as it goes down the drain. You start to sleep with your hands pressed tightly against your mouth while you're asleep, as if you're scared something is going to crawl out while you're dreaming. Still, you wake up at 6 a.m. You go to work. You kiss your wife goodbye. You take care of your children. You have missionary sex with your wife once a week. You go to bed. One morning near your collarbone, you find pale larvae wriggling. For a long time, all you can do is stare. Then you lock the bathroom door, dig them out with tweezers, and flush them before anyone can see. There are red gashes in your skin. This lasts for 6 months. Before work, your wife presses her hand against you and asks if you have the flu. Your forehead is hot. You tell her you're just a little tired. She believes you because everybody believes you. You have spent your entire life being believable, filling these roles that you were meant to fill. Is that not your purpose? A believable husband, a believable father, a believable Catholic, a believable straight man, a believable happy person. The silence settles in around you. You start to hear buzzing in the walls. It's not loud, just always there, constant. You stare at the ceiling, paralyzed. The smell is so much worse now. It's rotten, but sweet, like you left a peach out in the sun for far too long. By the time the afternoon hits you, you force yourself to look into the restroom mirror. There's a strange gray softness to your skin. Your hair is slick with sweat. Your face is greasy. You look down at your hands and wipe the sweat away from your face. There's dirt under your fingernails. There's movement beneath your throat. You press against it. Something presses back and you spear into the sink so hard that your eyes end up bloodshot. Mm. Because there are still bills to pay. Because your children still need to eat and to go to school. Because your wife kisses your cheek every morning and says she doesn't know what she would do without her sweet, sweet, sweet hubby. You go back to work the next day. Leo notices the second you walk through the door. You look like shit. You laughed too hard at that. Too loud. For a moment, his expression changes and the room feels uncomfortable. Concern. Actual concern. You almost break. You want to tell him everything. How on your way home you think about driving off the interstate instead of taking the freeway exit home. How all you want to do is kiss him and be loved and be you and be happy. How you want to run your fingers through his perfect hair. How if you could do nothing but have conversations with him in the break room and talk about nothing and smoke cigarettes until you die together, that it would be a happy life for you. Better than this. You think about telling him how hollow you feel, how you hate this job, how you can't do this anymore, how every morning you wake up, you crawl out of your own grave just to sit under fluorescent lights. Instead, you just say, I don't sleep much. Mm. Leo nods and pulls you into a hug. I got you something. You'll make it through today. Notice how tired you've been lately. He hands you a blue raspberry Bang energy drink. He remembered your favorite energy drink. That night, your son asks if you can stay home from work Friday to watch his presentation. You promise him you will. You're lying. Later, your wife reaches for you in your marriage bed. You let her wrap herself around your body while you stare into darkness, and she tells you she missed you. The guilt almost kills you on the spot, not because you do not love your doting wife, uh, not because you do not love your doting wife, but because some part of you does. You love all of them. That is the problem. Is this love? Do you know what love means? Is love to sacrifice yourself for others? If what you feel for your family, your wife, and your children is love, if this is love, love has turned you into something that continues surviving long after it should have stopped breathing. You should be dead where you stand. More flies are gathering at the window over the past weeks. The buzzing gets louder and louder. They start to gather at lamps inside cups left overnight on the kitchen counter. Your daughter sobs when she finds maggots in the Thin Mints box when she went to go reach for a cookie. Your wife starts to obsessively clean, but nothing helps. The rot isn't inside the house. It isn't you. One day when you wake up, you can't move your left arm anymore. Your flesh feels feverishly hot and swollen, sweat drips down your back. You feel dizzy and nauseated. When you finally drag yourself into the bathroom and pull back your shirt, the skin along your ribs caves inward slightly like wet paper. Something pale writhes beneath it. There are hundreds of them. You drop to the ground and begin to sob. Not loudly, not dramatically. You softly sob with your forehead pressed against the bathroom sink while flies surround you, moving erratically everywhere in the room. It feels like there's more each second. The buzzing keeps getting louder. You still go to work. You go to church. You and your wife are not having sex anymore. It is nice. You crave tenderness, but you will not be getting it. This is not that kind of story. Do you think you deserve tenderness? Your body decays quietly beneath neatly ironed button ups that you wear to work. No one seems to notice. Or maybe they do. By the time you stop getting out of bed, it is summer. Your wife cries by you, never leaving your side while you hear the joyful laughter of your two children playing downstairs. You keep apologizing to her. She asks what's wrong. You can't explain. How do you tell someone you have been dead for years? The final morning arrives very quietly without any revelation or screaming. It's a warm summer morning. Sunlight spills through the curtain and onto your face. Flies lazily drift into slow spirals throughout your bedroom. It's almost beautiful. Your wife is out taking the children to school. You are alone, and for the first time in a very long time, you don't feel afraid. You listen to them buzz. It's almost like a nice hum. You feel the movement beneath your skin. You imagine Leo's hand on your shoulder and your daughter asleep against your chest. You think about the person you could have been. Then you start to think about how tired you feel, how heavy your eyes feel. Sleep settles deep within you. Something gives away beneath your ribs and warmth spills all throughout your chest. There's a soft cracking sound. Thousands of pale bodies writhe softly beneath your skin like a living second heartbeat. You close your eyes and think pleasant thoughts. The men who carry your body out refuse to look directly at your face. Beneath your ruined flesh, pale maggots feed away at the hollow spaces under you.